Good morning, folks, and welcome to our broadcast. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, it's a privilege to be here with each and every one of you. Welcome, 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 welcome. It's our favorite time of the day. We look forward to this time with you, folks. We got a little black tea in our utensil for drinking. We trust that your day is off to a fantastic start. Wherever you're joining us from this morning, good to see all of you, Luan and Kevin, and I see Francis and Rastaman, all the guys who are joining us this morning. Good morning to you folks. It's the morning after, the night before. How are you folks doing? I had such a fantastic time, guys. I had a fantastic time. Please and thank you. Fantastic time. Yesterday at Melanie, they call her there, the shopping plaza. Melanie Shopping Plaza, built a long time ago by Lyndon Forbes, Samson Bornham, after which that area has been named one of his daughters, named after one of his daughters, Melanie. Folks, I had a fantastic time. Look, we got to grow up a little bit. Crowd. A lot of people's got crowd and nothing and singing. But we got crowd and we got content as well. How you folks in doing this Monday, the 21st day of July? 21st day of July, a month and change left in this campaign. Right? A month left, a month and change. Good to see Gloria Chester on the live. Good to have all of you folks with us. Chris and Gloria, Pam and Eula, Euclid and Paulette. Good to have all of you folks. I had such a blast yesterday. If you didn't come out there in person, or you missed something special. This thing is maturing like good wine. It is maturing. I got a cup and a half of coffee here. We got to get through the next 5 or 10 minutes, Good to have all of you on the broadcast this morning. Elizabeth Howard, we see you there. And I see Shanette, Alicia, we see you there as well. And all the other folks who joined with us this morning. Good to have all of you on the broadcast, on the program. You turned up in your numbers yesterday. And look, if you didn't have a chance to make it yesterday on the ground, you're here in Guyana, you're even close by, you got a chance, you're going to make up for it. There will be other rallies as well. and you have a chance, good people, friends, FYI family, to make up it. We ain't holding it against you yet. You should have been there. This thing is maturing like good wine, like fine wine. How are you folks out there doing this morning? I enjoyed every speaker. I just regret we don't have all the time in the world this morning to get you through all of that. To get you through all that. I see a German Figueroa crossed over on the other side as well over the weekend. To each his own, to each his own, to each his own, to each his own. That being said, we're seeing a narrative develop with folks who cross over. It's always a running from the law or some backroom deal or something like that. Yeah. Wish him well. Wish him well. I hope some of the folks who cross over, as a matter of fact, I hope that y'all left in the opposition for the opposition. As a matter of fact, I know y'all leaving the opposition for the opposition. You remember that lady who left the opposition for the opposition? That might sound like a little anachronism, not anachronism, contradiction of sorts. You left in the opposition for the opposition. Lester Weeks is joining us from the UK. My mother-in-law just returned from the United Kingdom. Oh, she's enamored. She's in love with the UK. She's telling me something in the kitchen the other day. She said, when I go back, UK take one. I'll take a couple of them. Big girls went up for a couple of days. Fell in love with the UK. Good morning to all of you. Wherever you're joining us from, happy to have you all here on the live this morning. You all know how we say it. I want to say big congrats to Chris and Selena, who co-hosted yesterday. Chris and Selena, congrats to them. I mean, wonderful job all around, all the folks who were part of that. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me mix things up. I'm happy when I call. I didn't plan to make a phone call this morning, but let me see if we can do. Yeah, I like when I call, people answer. It helps me to know when I call people. Like, y'all worry this government here. You're worried them. I think two different ideas there. I just saw, as I picked up my phone, the issue of this young lady who was killed. This lost her life at the New Diamond Hospital. The thing fancy outside, The thing fancy outside, but inside, right? Inside, my Lord. Naomi, I see you there. Naomi, I see you there. Naomi say, all now, Ali wants to send back James because he can't deliver Melody. All now, Ali. I see James run out. Not trying to not make things look as bad as it is for the PPP. I saw James coming out, man. I saw him coming out. But good morning to all of you. Are you guys hearing us? All right. Let us know if you guys can hear us clearly. Please and thank you. Let us know if you're hearing us this morning. We want to be heard. We want to be heard. Calling one of my favorite my favorite persons informally. Right? Chanel, Chanel, you're live, right? Just know that.
Oh, good morning. Still tired.
I was just calling Chanel Smith Daniels on the line, folks, to say congrats to you, Chanel, for your hard work yesterday. You delivered once more.
Oh, yes, Sherrod. I was actually sending a voice note to someone who was telling me that she didn't sleep until 2 this morning because she and her husband sat and they spoke about the country. They said they spoke about what Mr. Paul Williams would have said on that stage and, the atrocities that we're being faced with. And she said, Chanel, I just want to say I am energized, and that is what we want, people. And this is not just us talking. They must know that come September 1st, we will be doing. These actions will be put into place. It's time for a better Guyana.
Correct is right. Chanel, look, I was just, your friend, must send us a voice note so we can listen to the conversation. But your friend, no doubt, your friend, no doubt, was tired from working. I was tired watching you work. I got tired watching you work. And we just wanted to say congrats to you, Chris, Selena, all the folks who have pulled it together.
Yes, they did an excellent job yesterday, yes.
Yeah, and it seems as though these rallies keep getting better. I was saying to the folks, aging like fine wine. You know? I don't
tell a friend, everybody tell a friend.
Well, that's why I'm coming to.
That's how it goes.
That's what I'm coming to. So we were telling the folks in the miss yesterday to get another chance. You know, we won't beat up on them too much. We don't beat up people over here like some other places, gun butt women and so on, and ill treat our folks, right? You get another chance to make it right. Chanel, I don't know if you're at liberty to let us know what goes down next. I don't know if you have that liberty as yet.
Well, they must look out for the New Amsterdam rally, and the date is not set as yet, but just let them know that get themselves ready, get the green flag.
Mahela can come in.
Yes, because I just come full green, Cheryl. If you notice, I had my green sneakers, my green jersey,
green all the way.
Hat. I come in full green. So just let them get those gears up. The next stop is New Amsterdam. The date will be announced soon.
Yeah, Wainwright, we coming your way. Mahela, we coming your way. New Amsterdam, we coming your way. Go right ahead, Chanel. Sorry, I was interrupting you. I was interrupting you. But I like what you did last night.
I got the same energy.
I like what you did last night. I love Paul Williams' presentation because Paul bring a different ball in. I heard Paul speaking to the community. Paul Williams. One of the things we have lost in this country, we have lost the ability of the elders, that elder in the community who pull up everybody in line, right?
That's so true.
People lower their voices when they're passing Chanel house. They might take off the cap.
They still do, Cheryl. They
say, they stop cussing when they see you close by because they have respect. And I heard Paul Williams speaking to that community, saying, what you all doing, right? And rationalizing and reasoning the thing out for our young people. It was so powerful.
Yes.
Yes,
listen, Cheryl, everything he said resonated. Everything.
Because
when he spoke about, because we see ranks who we probably pass on the road doing traffic, directing traffic for years. That's the job, and you can see that no promotion is being given to these people. They're just there, but yet you see other people coming. And that is what we talk about. And when we say that when we call it Guyana political force, people get angry. But that is what they do. They bring their people who are not experienced, not trained, put them over these people. So we got a whole force that's incompetent.
Yeah.
And these are the things that needs to change.
Yeah. Campton Reed says he's waiting for us in New Amsterdam. He's ready, fired up and ready, green all the way. The other presentation for me, and we're going to get time, if not this program, another program to share some of them. I tell people, don't worry who got away and who got on red and this and that. Oh my God. The other presentation, all of them in their own right were very, very touching presentations. But the other one that stands out in my mind is Ronald Daniels. Now, why it stands out to me is because Aubrey Compton Norton isn't given enough credit for the turbulent times in which his leadership has been put to the test in the party and in the wider nation. That's number one. And two, for mounting such a response to this incumbent regime, and also for pulling together, number three, such a team, such a diverse team. Look, I saw Ricky's family, Ricky's Indo-Guyanese. Everybody decked out in green. That thing touched my heart because people understand that this time, Chanel, we're putting people first. We're putting people first. And they're coming in. Other families as well, because we know that's how people go. When the family go, they follow too, right? Because they trust. And I love that as we were in Daniel's. I want to make the point now that Daniel says, I am putting myself in your hands because I trust you.
Yes.
That thing,
and his
that thing
children too.
Yes, because you're a man of integrity. You know, you're a man of caliber. Nobody ain't got you a no WhatsApp message saying this and that, circumventing taxes. You ain't got no fraud charge. You ain't got no sanction. Paul Williams making the point again. What are you waiting for, Guyanese? You know, and again, Ronald Daniels making such a powerful presentation, calling the leader up on stage and saying, this is why I put him a faith in your hand. Right?
That was very touching last night, Sherrod. It was very, very touching. You know, that the fact that he called him on that stage and he spoke directly to him. And he said to him, this is what I want and this is what I'm looking forward to. Sherrod, sometimes I ask the leader, Mr. Aubrey Norton, I say, how do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it? And you know, sometimes the things that he would take and took Chanel, these things happen. And I'm like, because you know me, Sherrod.
I know you.
Me. Sherrod, you know me. And
I know you.
Sometimes I have to listen. And you know, they always say you're never too big to learn. I have matured and grown just from watching that man.
Yeah.
I have grown. I can say I'm a little more mature because Sherrod, you couldn't tell me certain things. Now I just brush it off.
Yeah. I am very happy to hear that. And I'll tell you this. His own response to things. A lot of people counted him out. You know, like a referee on the mat, 1, 2, 3, the wrestler is gone. Right? But not Aubrey Norton. He has played his cards very close to his chest. I know yesterday also we saw an eminent attorney, I think the young lady was, who came on board. That wasn't done yesterday. And for the first time, and you will see more of these candidates and so on being featured at the different rallies and so on. New Amsterdam will be coming your way. But I want to make the point that those leaders of yesteryear don't shift. Don't sway. I'm looking for the scripture in my head. We are not something by every wind, tossed by every wind of doctrine. Those leaders of yesteryear, of which Aubrey Norton is part of that ilk, right? And I always make the reference also to Chetty Jagan, who stood his ground for such a long time.
Yes.
Irrespective, he ain't budging. Forbes Burnham had a vision for this country. They ain't budging, right? You got some people like say, man, left Anug and touch up himself with some other people. And like the man gone somewhere else now. 1 week, people can't stand up in one place, right? 5 months, people can't stand up in one place. They're running, right? They're running out looking for something. Everything cup knock. You got to stand up for something. That's why a lot of people fall in.
That's so true.
For all kinds of things.
I don't think we give the older politicians enough credit, because they have paved the way. And like I said, I'm still learning. And let me just give you an example of what I was talking about just now. We had a little issue. You know, the leader he fought a fight that I can't. You know, and we see where he is now. But I remembered one time there was something that happened and I was very angry to the point where I told him, I said, look, I am done with this if you don't this. The leader, he would listen to what you have to say, and then he would come and he would say, Chanel, this is how it should be. I think this is, let's see how it works then. And then he gives you a listening ear. But then this incident that happened, he called me into his office, and I think it were 2 other persons in there. And he said to me, he wasn't sitting in his chair. He said, Chanel, sit there. So I'm watching at him like, and he said, sit right there. And then I sat down in his chair. And then he started to tell me what he wanted to see. And all that anger left. All that anger left. It was after, whilst talking about it, then he said to me, Chanel, that is what Burnham used to do to me. He said, don't feel I wasn't at the point where you are.
Mm-hmm.
He said, but that's how Burnham calmed me down.
Yeah.
He said, you have to sit in the chair to understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Why you must do certain things and why you must not do it.
There's an adage.
And that would never part with me.
There is a British adage that says, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You know? It's only when you sit down there and the shoe for you foot, you know it pinching. You see?
Sherrod, you know I'd ready for war, right, Sherrod? And when I sat in that chair and he started talking, and I am listening, but for some reason, I was calm.
Yeah.
And I watched that situation took a turn in our direction.
Yeah, but you know, I'm happy that we have a leader like Norton for such a time as this. When you get out of control PvP and you need level heads, you need a strategy, not just for today or tomorrow, but you need a long-term strategy. And clearly, Mr. Norton has been thinking about some of these issues for a long time that have been rolled out in the policies. I see reporters begging other people for policy. I see people get a mic and can discuss policies. You know, that's why I said it's more than crowds. Crowds are important. Rallies and so on, public meetings, they're about that. They're about that. Bells and whistles, lights and actions. But moving the country forward, September 1, you're going to get some plans. And that plan, you hurry up and Photoshop and AI produce and so on. You got to be talking to these people as Mr. Norton has been for the last 5 years and understanding these plans. Look, when I was young, sometimes I appreciate how giddy you can get. Young people like a vibe, we say, and like a buzz and all of that. And you quick, once you've seen the numbers ahead, something must be happening over here. This thing sell off. But you don't know what you don't know. You understand me?
What is it? As the older folks would say, all that glitters is not gold.
I see some of these parties like nightclubs in this country. Name a nightclub that has been in existence for 10 years. They pop up 2 mornings, they're gone. They pop up for 3 days and they're gone. You name them. Blue Iguana, Avalanche, this, Shell Shock. You name it. Right? It is a vibe for season. You see? But it's the foundation that you build. Those long-standing businesses who understand the terrain, how to diversify, how to weather the storm and so on. Who can stand up here? And I'm saying there is something to be said of that, of a man who's been in politics for 50 odd years. He ain't got no fraud charge, no sanction, no this, no that. I want to stand up next to a man like that. I want to stand up next to a process channel that is deliberate. You see, I would give anybody credence who says, look, I believe I have something to offer the Guyanese people. I'm going to start a political party and try to influence the system because that is what politics is at its core. Not nobody who run in from some fallout with the best friend and start something and say, I'm getting some likes and share. Let me go in this direction here. No, blah, blah, blah. Listen to me. This thing got to be deliberate, can be no afterthought. The plans, proposals, your manifesto and so on, got to be deliberate. You can't really deal with nobody who want to run from the press, who can't even speak, who came in out, and all of these things and so on. We have to have people who understand these issues. Some of them, the only thing they know about is Stephen. Stephen left, right, and center from Guyanese. Stephen in the WhatsApp, Stephen in the open, Stephen in private, so in the living room, the whole bulk of it. Again, I hear Paul Williams resonating in my ear. What are you waiting for? It is just the times we're living in when people, again, they're drawn away. The good book says, let no man say that he is tempted of God. But we're all tempted when we're drawn away by our own lust and greed. And that is what sometimes we're projecting onto these candidates. Look, if you go over there, you can get something quick. You can get something fast. But them things don't last. Them things don't last at all.
Exactly.
You see, what you want is something that's going to sustain you and your family 50 years from now. But sadly, it's this instant generation that we have, the quick fixes that we have that don't last long. People are thinking 10 years. People are thinking 20 years. People are thinking 30 years from now. And that is what you have to see, not just for you and the quickness,
Sherrod,
for
as
your
the saying
family and your
goes, what does
generation.
it profit a man? What does it profit a
Yeah.
man to gain the world but lose his soul?
Yeah.
We are seeing how many souls are lost right now, Sherrod.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. How many souls are lost? You know, another interesting presentation was even Ganesh. You know, Shannon, no, you gotta go. I'm gonna let you go in a second. Ganesh presentation was interesting because Ganesh was pretty much walking through the sins of the PPP, the corruption of the PPP. When Ganesh walked through that list of people and their credentials for sitting on the list, rapists, thieves, this body,
Yes.
that all them got an infraction, sanction people, revoke visa people. I said to them, Aubrey comes and brings a clean slate. He said, we're making a break from the past. They have a recycle. There's such a deficit of quality leaders, if any, on that side. When you have a recycler man like Dharamlal, where you going in this life? When you have a recycle, what's the special about he? You know, he must know where some of the political bodies are buried, and he must bury some himself. You understand me? That they can lose he. You understand what I'm telling you? When a man could have such shame attached to his name, you even need to name your dog Damlal, and they're still running with him, right? Could tell, and it's really friends, family, favorites. Because Chanel, lastly, before I let you go,
the whole list.
Look how they kick them people to the curb in Linden. That throwing out the belly for them. Even for Guerra, not on the list. But I love Linden so bad. Listen, I hear some people make the point as we touch on Figuera, you know, our brother. I hear some people make the point. How could you support an administration who didn't even complete one sporting facility that they inherit from the last government, had no intention of completing them? Bayrock Grung, the Mackenzie Sports Club, all incomplete, and a host of other projects. While you were the minister, the shadow for the sector, sat there and see these people, paid no heed to what was happening in Linden, yet said again you could support them. Folks, my God. But we get time to talk with all those issues. Chanel, before you go, your final thoughts.
No, I just want the viewers to know that come Thursday, the Rum Shop show is going to be lit, because I can tell you Ganesh will get it and Paul Williams will get it. when the truth comes out,
yep,
the Rum Shop is a
yep.
Sherrod, I just enjoy that.
Yes.
The message, Sherrod, everything resonated, Sherrod.
Correct. True and correct.
They were not lying. We are living it and seeing it.
That is why it resonated, because it's the truth.
Yes.
It's not no lies, facts they were spitting last night.
The Rum Shop show on Thursday will be lit. I think he's bringing it forward.
Yes. Listen, I think if people are serious about policies and moving this country forward, that the APNU team, the Green team, got the best proposals. And look, a good predictor of future behavior is past. This government has had trillions of dollars at its disposal, and they're fighting for political survival now. You know why? Because they mismanaged all of it, right? They have mismanaged all of it. I say again, I saw, Dorita always makes the point, you know, how many wealthy indigenous people are there? Huh? Show me the indigenous people with businesses out there that are thriving, big business. I ain't talking about carne shop. Show me them that are contractors. I ain't talking about little drain cleaner. I'm talking about big contractors. She consistently makes that point that we got to want better for ourselves as a community. And I got the blood in me too. My father side, they are indigenous. Now, I said it to say this. I see them marching some people from, I think it's Cubana to somewhere. A little piece of good road they put in. 90% of the road, Jesus Lord, is worse than concussion. You'd give, we be giving concussion a bad name if you describe that road there in Region 1 from Santa Rosa to Cubana. But I want to make the larger point that a lot of our indigenous brothers and sisters were walking because they don't drive. You see, and transportation is so exorbitant because the road is bad. Now, when the government goes into a place like Region 1, Santa Rosa, they don't drive. For instance, they won't go with boat and drive in because the road is so bad. They fly in and you got to walk now and meet them. You see? But we want betterment for all our people. You must walk because you don't want to drive. Not because you don't have any other option.
Sharon, let me just tell the viewers about what I witnessed when we were in Region 8. I think it was Campbelltown where we visited the community and they were telling us the buses that the previous administration would have left for these children to go to school and for them to get home safely. I think they said the region now controls that bus. So the region, I think the education department, they use the bus for their own purposes, whilst these children have to walk for 2 hours to go to school and 2 hours to go back home.
Yeah.
Sharon, how could that be fair? This is a government that's telling us to be care and a one Guyana. We don't want one Guyana anymore. We are tired of it.
Yeah.
Because if you can deprive children, if you can deprive children, you do not deserve to sit there.
Yeah, agree totally.
And people still telling us about a cup, Sharon. I drink it from a glass.
Yeah, it's time to remove the cup.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Don't tell us you care and you don't even have feelings for children.
Time to remove the cup. Shauna,
these children are walking for 2 hours, Cheryl. I could control this program today.
Go right there.
I'm really angry. When I think about these things, people got to understand why I fight.
Yeah.
These are the things that angers me.
People
How
must
can
do
we
that
treat our children like that?
because they have no alternative, right? Not because they can't do it for themselves. And we got to empower people right across this country. And I'm happy that we have a leader like Compton Norton, that we have a vice presidential candidate like Jarita Fernandes, who is making the issues, folks, making the arguments on these issues across this country. I'm so grateful for them. Thank you so much, Chanel. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much. And good morning again, viewers. Have a blessed day.
Excellent. Excellent. Thanks again. All right, folks. Chanel Smith-Daniels, one of the persons behind the scenes, making these things happen for us, pulling these rallies together, doing the logistics and finding the money to pay for it all, which is an important part of events and activities like this. But again, I'm really heartened that lots of our indigenous brothers and sisters are coming on board. They're waking up. And again, Jarita making the point last evening so powerfully. The Amerindian lives matters too. Amerindian lives matter. Indigenous lives matter. Look at the heinous rape of this young woman in Linden Shoes like Hyrie. What society have we become when people could stand up and view that? It took me back to a movie in which Jodie Foster starred. I think is The Accused or something like that is the name of the movie. Ripped and brought wide open in a club or something like that. People stand up watching and so on. Almost same thing. But it speaks to the degradation of the society. And why whenever people in power, you got this decadence and decay of the moral fabric of this country. My God. Let me take you to that rally last evening. And our Prime Ministerial candidate, Jarita Fernandes, speaking on some of these issues that we need to arrest in this country. The PP didn't do it in the last 23 years of the government. They didn't do it in the last 5. Well, the last 5, they didn't do it in the last 5. And the previous 23, they didn't do it because it's not in them. They seem to thrive when things are chaotic. You know, they don't like order. They don't like systems to work. Prime Ministerial candidate Jarita Fernandes making the arguments at Melanie last evening. Take a look, folks, and take a listen.
Make sure that all of Guyana benefit from the resources, and we are going to put Guyana to work because we have the capacity, we have the people, we have people with the will, with the resilience, and we are going to make sure we empower you so that you will be able to determine your own future. I want to tell you, there is something called carbon credits, and I'm going to go a little fast with this. The carbon credits is being collected by this country, and the PPP administration is paying 15% of that money to the indigenous communities. But guess what? Under the stewardship of Compton Norton, a policy was developed. And now those carbon credits will be increased to 50%. And it will not only be going to the communities and the heads of those communities, but now I am proud to say that every indigenous family will be receiving those monies directly, because this is your time for self-determination. We believe that it is your right to determine how you want to craft your future, and we will empower you to do so, because this is your time. We will increase when it comes to health care. The indigenous communities are the poorest when it comes to health care. No medication, poor staffing. Sometimes there's one medic if we're lucky. When it comes to the school system, it is in shambles. We cannot accept that. And I want to touch on something as I wrap up here tonight. We had a situation over the last couple of days, several situations, but the two most recent. We had a situation in which a young woman was sexually assaulted. And we had persons videoing that. A young woman was raped, and we had persons videoing that. I want to tell you this tonight. As a people, we have got to wake up. You have got to wake up. Fathers, wake up. Mothers, wake up. At the level of parliament, we had a breakdown in the moral fabric of our society. We have seen and heard the most violent, atrocious, and derogatory things being done when it comes to how women is treated in parliament. And today, we see that being translated into the society. We have got a team of people that does not stand for that. You have got to value yourselves, value your children. This is an important message. While we give condolence also to the family of the young woman that was murdered, I call out the PP administration that has done absolutely nothing to remedy the situation of domestic violence in Guyana. And I'm ending on this note, and I want persons to listen very carefully to this. I am in receipt of information right now that there is a young woman, a young lady, a child that is in the Pomeroon River that has been missing from her family. They say over 2 months. They are saying that they made a report to the Charity police station and no one has done anything.
Welcome back, folks. Yep. Making the arguments there, indigenous lives matters. You know, the killing of this young lady in Linden, the young lady on the highway brutally raped, Linden Suicide Highway, this child missing. The PPP have no concern about our women and our girls, which we've been talking about for the last 5 years. Violence against our women and our girls gone unabated in this country. And then, folks, Jurita also touched on some of what's happening at Linden. You know, Jurita understand these economic issues, haven't studied the thing at university, economics, and then she read for her master's degree, I think, in public administration, or was it business administration? Understanding these issues and, you know, wading into this and this whole matter about the PPP saying that Linden is going to them. Oh, in the wildest dreams, it wouldn't happen. But really and truly honing in, Jurita last evening, the prime ministerial candidate for APNU, that if you say you care, how come you haven't been showing it in a meaningful way in Linden, making those arguments? Take a look, folks. And before we wrap up this morning, I want to touch on some of what Mr. Norton said as well. So don't go nowhere. We got a couple of minutes left. Just reflecting on the fantastic, highly successful APNU rally that happened at Melanie just yesterday afternoon.
to fight these things because we are a strong people that have been suppressed, and this is our time to rise up because this life is yours to succeed in. You are not here to be anyone's servant. I saw a headline saying that Lindenor is moving in another direction. And they were insinuating that Lindenors are considering the PPP as an option. I want to talk to the Lindenors tonight. Under the coalition from 2015 to 2020, there was a body that was in place. It was called the Linden Enterprise Network. The Linden Enterprise Network was there to provide loans and grants to small business owners for you to be able to build in capacity to raise your standard of living so that you don't have to line up for any handout from anyone. The PPP took office in 2020, and under the stewardship of our Air Fernandes and under the stewardship of Ashni Singh, they refused to put the board in place. Hundreds of millions of dollars left there, not being used from 2020 to 2025. Not 1 cent was used in Linden because they want to keep you begging. They want to make sure that when they come to you, you are so much in need of support that you line up for it. They make sure, and I can tell you, I question Ashni Singh in the National Assembly every single year, and I said, when are you putting the board in place so that the people of Linden can benefit from the hundreds of millions of dollars that was there for them? A system that was structured under us during 2015 to 2020 because we wanted to build you in capacity. We wanted to make sure that you had the resources, but they never intended for that to happen. So the people of Linden, when you hear them come to you and when you read those headlines and they say, oh, Lindenors considering the PPP, Lindenors, you have got to don't like yourself to be considering anything related to the PPP. We have got to be smart people. Young people, I'm talking to you especially. Young people in Linden, the PPP have no consideration when it comes to building you in capacity. You know what they would do? They would walk around and they would identify a few persons and they would give them a little bit of benefit, and they will make them believe that they should go out and convince people that, you know, if you just stand in line, if you just do as they say, that maybe, just maybe, you will be able to benefit in time. I am saying to you that no one should have you lining up for benefits. No one should have you begging your bread. This is Guyana in 2025. We have a budget of $1.382 trillion, and Linden must benefit, and the young people in Linden must see progress also. But this is not just for Linden. I started with Linden. I heard of persons in potential. And I am not afraid to speak about the PPP strongholds, people that go out and vote for them. I had the opportunity to work with young people from that community. I myself, there was a little girl, 9 years old. I had to go and take her to welfare. I had to visit the schools. A community that go out and give their support for them. A community that they boast that they have control of.
They boast they have control of potential and Linden going their way. But people not seeing their way. out of the PPP. They're not seeing the way. Is the economy stupid? PPP. It's the economy. That is why in every Monday like this, Starbucks News has a column. They have an article that talks about how the cost of living affecting people. It's no different today. You read the cost. People are gripped by the pangs and the fangs, the high cost of living in this country. And that is outpacing what they get from the wages and salaries. Can't keep up. People tell you 2 and 3 jobs they have to have to just make it up for the light, the water bill, the rent. Things are sky high. And them boys don't feel the pain. They don't feel it. They live differently. How many times you all saw them and the family in Dubai? Huh? They carry the girlfriends and the friends. They carry them down to Florida and so on for a weekend. That's how they sport it now. They're alone enjoying the oil economy. They're alone enjoying the largesse. These are some of the issues the presidential candidate for APNU spoke about last evening as he touched on cost of living issues. Mr. Norton. Take a look, folks. Take a listen.
Came up to me. She said, Mr. Norton, when you're speaking tonight, please tell people that in 2020, a tray of eggs was $600 or $700. A tray of eggs now is $2,500. She said as well that she bought a bread for $200 in 2020. She's paying $500 now, and if it's whole wheat, it's $560. Why is it the cost of living continues to go up and the PPP refuses to do anything? I'm saying to you, we are going to take the measures to bring the cost of living down. Not only will we increase your salaries, but we will ensure the cost of living come down. The cost of living at present is killing. And so, we will work to ensure that our people can live a good life, a quality life. Our aim is to put money in your pockets. I had planned this evening to speak on a number of other issues, but I know you have been here long, and I know the next rally I will have the opportunity. And so, I want you to keep faith with us. You know, they ruled us out many times. I remember the bald-head rat. I hear he vex bad, say he's a bald-head rat. But me ain't call name, so we know is he. But he once said, when the election comes, it's going to be Norton alone on the list. Well, Norton is here with credible people, while you there with a set of bandits. We are saying to you that our list is credible. We are saying to you, we have a good combination of youth, experience, women, ethnic groups, and you cannot get a better balance than that. But let me point out something to Linden people. While they're claiming they like you, and they're giving couple Linden people little crumbs, you know what they did? When Linden, where they say they are likely to win, I mean, that's the kind of laugh you got to live with. They're mixing up win with their opponent. We talking about real win. We will win Linden. But I say this to you. It is the ultimate I pass. It is the ultimate I pass. I can't say the R pass one that says in decent language, but it is that too. That the PPP could name a top-up list of over 80 people and can't find one person from Linden to put on the top of this. Linden, wake up! Linden, wake up! I mean, I don't buy the theory that they are winning Linden. I know there are a few people who are making some funds. I see they said that some other person endorsed Ali. Well, we knew he was going to endorse Ali long now. And I want you to listen to this quietly. I want you to listen to this quietly. The minister instructed the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission to give him a lot to do gold. No, we are stupid. We know these banners don't get nothing for nothing. When they give you something, you got to give them something. So we knew long ago. And don't be worried. We have a strong team in Linden. I want you to observe a characteristic of the people who go to the PPP. If you observe the characteristics of the people who go to the PP, you will see they're like the hustlers. One of them were gone, well, Ganesh John says some big money story got before the court. Another one beat up his wife and still there before the court. If you check all of them, the guy one in Buxton, he before all the courts. If you check what the PPP does, the PPP selects people who are in trouble with the law so they can control them. So don't be worried when you see they said they're going anyway. Check to see the crime what they commit. I am saying to you, our party is proud. The APNU is proud that we don't have a list of scamps. We have a list that could stand scrutiny. And we are saying to you that we are going to govern this country in your interests.
Pim. Pim, you heard it there. You heard it there. We ain't got no scamping people on this list. Proper people speaking to the issues extemporaneously. Speaking to the in came and out, you know. You put a mic in his face anytime, he could tell you about his policies and his programs. He's been rolling them out consistently. Spoke to corruption as well. You can't talk but the PPP, you don't speak to corruption. That's them boys through and through. Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate for the APNU coalition, and corruption and some other issues. Sharing live, folks. Thanks for joining us. Smash that emoji button this morning on the issue of corruption and some allied issues. Leader of the APNU coalition.
We must protect the people who operate based on law. We have to end this situation in which the Guyana Police Force has become a tool of the PPP and the elite in this country. Why do you believe so many of them in the PPP believe they could rape? Why do you believe they could put tea on people's heads? They do that because they know they're in charge of a corrupt police force that will serve the interest. We will bring an end to that. Our police force must be a force that serves the people. And I want to thank Paul for the service he would have given. You know, I can tell you, I can sympathize or empathize with him. I was a young foreign service officer when the PPP came to power in 1992 and dismissed many of us. And you know, having dismissed many of us, the foreign service went down. Imagine Roy as a foreign minister. But he can't even spell bicycle. And we see, or we saw, the deterioration in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Well, the one that got no worse. Me know how he named Tad. He's a toddler. He's a little toddler about the place. But I want to say this to you. Critical to Guyana is the Essequibo. And the Essequibo is under threat. We don't have a big military to defend the Essequibo, but we have always had people with brains in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that can negotiate and do diplomacy to ensure we are secured. I don't know how on earth Irfan can negotiate with anybody or defend anybody. The boy can't even talk. I went to the young parliamentarians debate, and when I listened to the young parliamentarians, I said they could be a president, because the thing for a president can't talk. But I said to you, we are going to restore the Ministry of Foreign Affairs so that it can protect our territorial integrity. As a political party, we have always had an exceptional history in terms of being able to organize our strategy and go out there to the international community and give leadership and mobilize support. That is the essence of foreign policy, where you mobilize support for your cause, where you give leadership and interact with other leaders to get support. I am dead sure that when Irfan finished talking, people want to know is which primary school he came from. We will change that. We will develop a professional foreign service that can protect our territorial integrity. You can be assured of that. He would never ever, from the time I became leader, I said I'm prepared to debate them anytime, any place, anyhow. You think Barrett's stupid? You think Barrett's stupid? Barrett ain't let any puppet come to debate anybody. But let us forget him. The world knows that he cannot debate anybody. But let's turn to the issues. They say they have delivered. They say they have delivered. And I want to say this to you. They deliver Concussion Road. They're talking about delivering. And they deliver a road in which one of my hobbies was, when I'm going out, to read things on my phone, the messages. If you travel on that road, you can't read nothing. It's so up and down. Blah, 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 blah. That is what they delivered.
Blah, 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 blah. That is what they delivered, folks. Indeed. Roads done falling apart. Bridges washing away. My God. My God, folks. We're going to leave it there. Smash that emoji button for us, and we're going to leave it on another note too. We want you guys to partner with us so we can keep on keeping on. Now, we often say it. Yeah, we'd love if we run on water. We would love if we run on water, folks. We want to thank you all for helping us, move from point A to point B, to pay the bills and to keep the programs moving forward. Just wanted to give you guys a sample there of some of what took place over the weekend. Just a little sample. So, folks, we're going to post that link. It's very, very secure. Those of you who've donated to our program in the past. Good to have Jilly G on the live this morning. Good to have Jacqueline on the live, and Sheena and Forbes, and who else we got here? Garcia, and I see Mavis. Good to have all of you on the live this morning. Share the broadcast for us, Carmen, and I see Carlisle is here too. Share the broadcast for us so that other folks can receive the valid and credible information. Sharmila Simeon Carter. Good to have you in the live, Sharmila. We're coming your way soon. This is Kukwani. We're coming your way, Sharmila. We're coming your way soon. Thanks for joining us. Share the broadcast. Smash that emoji button for us. Thank you, Chanel, for dropping by this morning as well, and for adding to the quality of our program. Thank you so much, Chanel Smith-Daniels. Sandra Hanover, I know you're still out in the diaspora, Sandra. Good to see you on the live. Rastaman and Jennifer and Deborah and Yuli and Marilyn and all you other beautiful folks who have joined us. Thank you so much for your love and your support. We're going to see you guys on the next broadcast. Stay safe. We're going to see you guys on the next one. Stay safe. All of you, Jennifer and Linda and Jilly G and all of our favorite folks. Thank you for joining us this morning. Stay safe.